Hey, how's it going? I'm Captain Paxo, and I've just somehow pulled this world record out the bag, so I thought it would be a good time to do some commentary on it, kind of talk over it, going back to what I used to do for my Harry Potter years 5 through 7 replay story runs, doing a little bit of commentary, and yeah, I'm still kind of processing it. I definitely wasn't expecting the PB, so or big PB world record. I think it was a minute 40 PB and a 13-second world record, because Jack got the world record literally like 2 hours earlier. So no, I'm pretty happy with this. This was only my second run that I'd done today. Just kind of over time I'd been getting more consistent with the first levels, and getting through them more means that I can just gamble with launch RNG towards the end, so that's what I was doing. But yeah, we do this first room here, starting off with some nice 1p2c. It's not the fastest strat to do the first run. I think there's like a few micro optimizations I can make, but it will do for the time being. And then we go down these stairs here with player 1. Yeah, sorry, my brain's a bit all over the place at the moment. It was a good run, let's put it that way, no spoilers. But I'm going to break this with Thorin and throw the rock. And it's cool. So yeah, this first level, it's quite a challenging first level, actually. There's two one-try tricks in there, the first of which gem skip loses 2 minutes if you don't get it. The second of which Dory skip loses about 30 seconds if you don't get it. So getting a run out of the Greatest Kingdom is quite tough. So that's what I was focusing on, really. We're coming up on gem skip now. The new version of gem skip, far superior. Stand on the line then drop out. As simple as that. And then we get going into the next room, but yeah, my Greatest Kingdoms, I know the hamster can get like, I think the hamster's gold is a 556 Greatest Kingdom on the same splitting method, whereas I'm a well, my gold was a 608. I'm comparing against golds for this run. My PB was like a 30-20 something, I think 30-21, but that lost a lot of time in the last level, so I want to compare against my golds just to get a better understanding of where I'm gaining or losing time. Especially as this is quite a new category as well. These golds aren't optimized, as you'll see through this run, really. But we got to do the mining. In the mining, I almost messed up. You need to collect forward, and you do that by breaking objects. When you break the objects to collect the wood especially despawns really quickly. So I was very lucky to just about pick up the 4th bit of wood before it despawned. If that had despawned, that would have been a straight reset. When you're grinding for world record anyway, it's not like it's a softlock or anything. But it's definitely something you want to avoid. And now we have the mining. I think I got 2 perfect mines here. This isn't very good mining RNG because these pieces aren't the best to get perfect hits on. You want perfect hits because that way it only takes 1 hit to destroy them rather than 3. So I got 2 perfect hits out of a possible 3. Once you break the 3rd block, it progresses to the next scene anyway. And then, yeah, we've got Dory skip here. Found a new setup for Dory skip. I hold straight right, and then when I jump down right, or down, like, right down right, I'd say, if you're going by compass directions. And that allows me to land on a few pixels, which I can then use to jump dive over the barrier, and I find that really consistent. I got it twice in a row today, and I got it a decent amount yesterday as well. But you kind of need to approach it from the north side of it, and then kind of jump down towards it, otherwise it's more difficult to find those pixels. More decent 1v2c here, which I'm quite happy with. And then we go onwards. This room is also... this room is kind of a bit RNG. Basically what you want is a vertical buddy up with the other two characters while Dory's doing this. We got it second try there. I think you can have it as much as fourth try without losing time. Which is quite nice, but then we do our first hovers. To do a hover you need to be in a buddy up state, as the characters are. Mash the attack button and hold neutral, so don't touch the control stick basically when the characters are starting and finishing their animation. So we managed to do that, which is good. I think it was a 10 spin. You can optimally do a 9 spin to get across there, but 10's just that bit safer. And then we have our first auto-scroller of the run. The auto-scrollers in this game aren't a problem, they're pretty quick, so no one really minds. If anything, it's a little bit of a mental break. But yeah, so I couldn't actually see, when I'm running, I can't see my splits for the game. So I have no idea what pace I'm on now. All I can think of is I got all the tricks and lost a bit of time because I missed one perfect hit. That's a small time loss, probably about 5-ish seconds. But other than that, it was good. So I think if I'd got 3 perfect hits in this run, we would have been looking at 6:03. As you see, it doesn't matter anyway because 0.6 second gold. Yeah, my greatest kingdoms have been quite consistent. That was the second 6:08 I'd got today, the second gold in a row in 2 runs. Even though my first run I was... Yeah, I think my first run was a gold. I was literally just kind of de-rusting, trying to shake off the rust, do a bit of a no reset for our first run. It ended up being a, I think 31:08 or something. But was on pace to be a 29 going into the last room of inside information. This is also my sub 30 run, which is kind of weird to say. Since kind of the new launches have been found, sub 30 hasn't felt like my goal. Even though it's been... well, even though a week ago no one had sub 30. Even a few days ago no one had sub 30, no one had sub 29. Sub 29 got achieved 2 hours before this run. And then I get this run. It's a weird feeling, but that's just how the nature of a new category has progressed. It's good though. I've also improved my Hobbit's out of bounds lines here, finally. So instead of going all the way around, basically near the path you can see on the minimap, the dotted line, used to go basically right up to that. But now we can just go over this ledge here. And it's much quicker to be able to get into the same position. To start our hover flying. This is kind of one of the more subtle areas for improvement. The hover flying as well. Like, my hover flying in this run was a lot closer to the wall than it has been in a lot of other runs. Which just saves a few seconds, saves a few spins. Each spin saves about 3 seconds. Or each spin you can knock off saves about 3 seconds. So it all adds up just about. But yeah, I guess kind of going forward, if I can consistently get sub 10 looking for proofs, then that's a sign that I've got a really good pace run. I don't know what my goals used to be. Well, I think I was taking through like 10-30 times, but obviously as things get more developed, we get more of an idea of what makes a good run, what doesn't make a good run, what kind of runs you can take through, that kind of stuff. But I think this might have actually been my first sub 10. I don't think I've had a run that was this pace for both Greatest Kingdom and Looking for Proof. Obviously my summer best is a 9:57, but I think this was my best pace ever at this point. Second try hit on the trigger, it's not too bad, I'll take it. And then we fall down. I got the switch, which is very nice. Saves a lot of time on the respawn here. So this was a pretty good Looking for Proof inside. The only way I can improve it is if I use two characters and try to jump them both off at the same time. But that's a decent amount of complex movement with both characters, so I opt for that strat, which loses maybe a couple of seconds optimally, but it's not much. And yeah, another 9:57.1 gold. Let's go. Yeah, again, decent pace. Definitely happy with it at this point. Obviously, although I couldn't see my splits, I'm thinking, yeah, that was a good run. Well, that felt like a good split. I didn't expect to be golding though. I think I expected my Greatest King to be maybe a 6-1x. I'll take a 608. And now we have a 1P2C City. This is probably my weakest level in the run now. This and On the Doorstep actually are my weakest levels in the run in terms of pure pace. Just because there's a few strats which I don't do just yet. But pushing forwards I'll probably, if I want to keep grinding this category, which I'm not sure about yet, I'll have to have a look at them. But the 1P2C here is very cool. Breaking that. This is kind of a new thing I've added in that Radagast actually destroys that section rather than having Gandalf build it, and Radagast will then build it after this cutscene overlap. Yeah, even though the characters are standing in place there, I can't actually move because I'm playing the cutscene of Radagast healing the bird at the same time that I played the cutscene of Gandalf hitting the statue. So yeah, Radagast builds that for Gandalf now, and Gandalf goes up. And then I think I got the good transition, not good, yeah, good cutscene overlap here. There's two cutscene overlaps you can get here. You can either overlap hitting the statue with the bird being healed, or you can overlap hitting the last two statues. Hitting the last two statues loses a handful of seconds, just because one of the players, Gandalf, can't be, or yeah, Gandalf in this case, can't be right near the door. So Gandalf's right near the door to leave the room, because I got that cutscene overlap. And then we can head off into the next room. This is the room I need to work on now. There's a new route for doing this, which I don't do yet. I probably, yeah. So I'll have to have a look at that. I think it only saves, I think it saves less than 5 seconds, but that's still an amount when it's only a half-hour run. Well, less than half an hour now, which is pretty insane to think. Also lost a bit of time there, just from Radagast hitting that thing. But I think the Azog fight itself was very clean. Basically the way to do this fight is, whatever character is fighting Azog, you'll either have to mash X, A or B. And I tend to just guess which one it is, but there's certain things that, or certain nuances I guess you kind of learn. So in one set of 3 it can only be the A button once. Once it's been one button it will always switch to another button. So effectively each one is a 50-50 guess, but it's a little bit more informed than that. And then this last phase of the fight, you have to do it 5 times. Well, it's technically one set of 3, then one set of 2. And the set of 2 always has an A button mash in it. So in this case it was the first one, and then I think it was X to finish it off. That's just a small little optimization you get from playing the game. more, really. And then we go through here and into probably the slowest part of the run. No, definitely the slowest part of the run. This is, if there was a way for this to be skipped, it's a 3-minute time save, I think. In any percent, well, not in any percent, in no levels are only replay story, free play, anything. Because every level, every category that plays this level has to come through here, at least once. I think 100% you only need to do it once because there isn't any mini-clips in here. Or at least even if there was, you wouldn't complete the whole fight. I was actually pretty bad at this fight today because I didn't get in the right position to build things. Lost me a handful of seconds there, but it was still okay. That, yep, do that thing before just some of the floor disappears. And what I'm actually doing, like, in these sections where there isn't actually anything I can do, I'm going around and just breaking all the breakable objects that I can. There's 2 mining things which I can't break, but the rest I can break, and that just reduces the chance of the wizard's targeting being awful, because the wizard's targeting is awful. What happened there was weird. Radagast was dead, but the blue hand still targeted him. I don't know if that's just a thing the game does when a character dies, but yeah, it didn't lose me any time. It just kind of caught me a bit by surprise. I was able to react quick enough to get Radagast's shield up, and I didn't lose a cycle from it, so it's not a problem. And last phase of the fight now. This is again, this fight does drag on a bit. But it means I can say whatever I want, because, you know, anyone who knows the game would probably just skip through this entire fight. At least ones who've seen the first cycle. So, you know, if you're here... what did I used to do? Oh yeah. I used to do a thing on my streams whenever we thought it was going to be a PB. I'd say everyone should go on the YouTube video that will go up and comment something random, so if that applies to you in this case, comment like olive or something, just to confuse everyone else. Not that I'd imagine many people will make it to here, but it's fine. That's a necromancer done. And I think I lost time to my golds here, but I think I lost a bit of time to PB as well. I think my PB did gold that level, so lost a bit of time. This is a new thing I've been implementing, icicle launch. It sucks. Doing launches on 60 FPS just generally does kind of suck. I didn't quite make it up there. I need to make it to the dark grey line, so that was really close, but of course I had to try again. Fell down with Thorin here, which was unfortunate. And then got lost a bit with the camera. But then we got it third try. Actually got a really good launch that time. That saves about 30 seconds over trying to like go around with the horse to be able to make it around to the start of the next level, so losing 10 or 15 isn't that bad. And I think that was the best second best I've done that launch ever. I have got that first try before, but it didn't make a gold because the rest of my on the doorstep was awful. But anyway, we go around here. Again, there is another launch I think you can do off that first platform, but it's really inconsistent, so I don't go for it. I go for what's known in the community as the hamster safe strats. Because before Hamster got his god tier PC, he was playing on Xbox, so couldn't do any launches whatsoever. And basically rerouted the game for a lot of these safer strats, which fair play to them, really come into their own in Restricted. So I'm glad he did that. But then we go up. This is an interesting jump. It's the only time we see a jump like this. Just a precise jump with Dwalin. Up here, standing on the texture, jump around the corner, and just about make it up. It takes a bit of practice to get that, but it's quite a fun one. Especially when it works. When it doesn't work, it's just annoying. The run before this, I died twice there, and the respawn is quite far back, so I lost like 15 seconds each time. Maybe not 15, maybe like 12, but still a hefty chunk of time. And then into the last part of On the Doorstep. First try buddy up, looks very nice, and really solid launch as well. That's basically as good as this section can get in Restricted. In any percent you can just, well no, not in any percent, in like no levels early you can just pause buff and launch up there. But in Restricted you have to buddy up. And yeah, that worked pretty well. So we finish On the Doorstep and head into the final level. That was a... oh, it was a gold by exactly nothing. Good to know. There's still a decent chunk of time I can save there, because that was the third try icicle launch. If I get that first or second try, that's probably 10 seconds or so. It was an unfortunate death I took in that section. That was a annoying one, because if you like hug the wall really close, you can make it. I just think I wasn't quick enough to hug the wall there. But then we have a nice bit of movement tech coming up by using the like charge up attack with the flail that Barlin has got. It saves a lot of time. Or saves a decent amount of time on movement, so we use that as much as we possibly can.
You seem familiar. I don't remember smelling your kind before. Where are you coming from, may I ask?
So you can see it in full force up here. Do the charge up attack, then channel it into a roll. Channel it? Chain it, that's the word. Chain it into a roll, and it's pretty powerful.
Lovely title.
Riddle maker. Barrel rider.
Barrels. Now that is interesting. And what about your little dwarf friends? Where are they hiding?
And we get the bow here. I'm careful to pick up the bow with Bilbo rather than with Barlin, so that we keep the flail. Keep the flail out, otherwise we'd have to menu into the inventory.
You are mistaken.
And that's not optimal.
You have nice manners for a thief and a liar.
But we can use it again here. Two spins, we managed to get past Smaug's gaze as well though, which was pretty good, because if he sees you then he like shoots flames at you and you die. It's not fun, big time loss. and then you go again to break those boxes. I always try to break those boxes with Bilbo. And we've completed the Smaug section into the unskippable cutscene of Doom. Even though I'm on no cut, which is a cheat code that allows you to skip cutscenes, it's impossible to skip this cutscene in story. That includes replay story, any percent, or not any percent, restricted any percent, no levels early. You can't skip this cutscene because I think it's a video rather than what they do with other cutscenes, which is use the character models and just keep them in the same place. I think this is actually a full-on video. There's definitely a notable difference in quality.
The Arkenstone.
Did you find it?
The plan's not gonna work. These furnaces are stone cold.
We've no fire hot enough to set them ablaze.
Have we not? I did not look to see you so easily outwitted! You have grown slow and fat in your dotage, slug. Take cover! Go!
And we probably get into, well, this next section and the last room are the most RNG parts of the speedrun. Which is great, we love RNG in our speedruns. RNG is cool. So we're gonna go here. There's actually decent setups for these launches now. At least these first two. That first launch is pretty good. Landed a bit further back than normal, but that's fine because the camera wasn't too bad. So I was able to see where the next one was. I think I tried to go for the spin launch a couple of times here. That wasn't a good idea. Yeah, but by having Dory on top of those boxes, Dory actually gets into the corner before the pieces can get there, which saves a little bit of time. Then do the jump launch. So yeah, that was pretty good. There's still room to improve that, but there always will be with just the amount of launches that are in the late game. And there's a bit more 1P2C before we get into the final ring. There's actually pretty speedy 1P2C. It's always red, blue, red. The colour sequence you need. It's always hitting the left one twice, the middle one once, the right one twice. That never changes. So I'm able to like just react to that, or not react to that, just muscle memory it, know what I'm doing. And then we hit Smaug 5 times. I actually dropped a tiny bit, I dropped like half a cycle here. Because one of my throws with P2 missed, that one missed with P2. So I'm now relying on P1 cycle to be able to hit it, which is a little bit slower. We hit it there. Yeah, so drop half a cycle, couple of seconds, not too bad. And that is a 27:52 last room entrance. A week ago, a world record pace room entrance would have been a 28:40 something. Obviously now that's not the case because then you'd have to complete this room in -1 second. My buddy up here was still not good, however. You can see it's taken a while. I struggled to do it with Bilbo, but apparently there's a brand new version of this launch which is better, so I'll have to do some testing with that. That was done in Jack's former world record that he got earlier. And complete the run with a 28:39. It's not bad, but yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next in terms of whether I want to keep going with this category or give it a break for a bit. But I'll have some time to think and decide from there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.